Welcome to the Doctor's Mentor Show. If you believe that medicine is an industry and not a profession, if you enjoy submitting complex reimbursement claims, or you would do another residency just for fun, be advised, you're about to be offended. You should probably leave now.
All this talk about mentoring doctors is ridiculous. I thought doctors learned to do everything better than everyone else the first year of medical school. At least that's the way they act.
If you love assisting patients with vitality breakthroughs, if the right to practice medicine without interference is important, and you want expert tips for practice freedom and profits to support your epic life, welcome aboard and prepare to be blown away. The Doctor's Mentor Show starts now. Here's your host, Dr. Lori Barr.
Hi, it's Dr. Lori Barr, and this is another question that doctors ask me about podcasting, and specifically about creating podcasts, podcast production. Today's question is, what are ID3 tags? And it has to do with how to identify your audio files. MP3 files are the files typically used for most audio, and that's based on the premise that we don't hear as much as we think we do with our ears. And when people started rapidly embracing MP3 as the file type to be used for audio, they soon remembered that there was nothing to identify one MP3 file from another. So this guy got this idea that he would use a little file at the end of the audio file to put some tags on it. And he called these tags that would ID the the MP3 file. So it's called ID3 tags. Okay? And in order to ID your audio file, you can use an ID3 editor to add some tags, which these are metadata tags that actually give you information about that audio file. What are ID3 tags? And that's what they are. ID3 tags are individual pieces of ID3 metadata. That's data about data. That's what metadata means. Data about another piece of data. In this case, identifying data. That's why it's called ID3, identify the MP3 file, about an audio data file, right? You have a sound file. You want to know which one it is. And the ID3 tags are the piece of information that tells you exactly what that audio file is. They are unique identifiers that are applied to digital audio files using software programs such as ID3 Editor. You can use iTunes. There are a number of other things you can use. Think of ID3 tags like an album cover or a label for a vinyl audio album. Without the label, the album would not be identifiable from any other album. So if you had a stack of albums and none of them had labels, you'd have to listen to every one to figure out what was on the file. The same's true with audio files that are digital. If you don't have an ID3 tag file stuck onto it, with that metadata, data about the audio file, then you won't know which one's which. So without the label, albums would not be identifiable from any other album unless you listened to it and compared it to every other album out there. The same is true for your digital audio file. Without unique identifiers applied as a label through the ID3 tagging process, it could easily be mistaken for another digital audio file. So what kind of information is included? It's usually the artist, the name of the album, the number of tracks, what the tracks are, what the copyright is, who's responsible for it, who did the artwork, all those little pieces. So when you're in iTunes, for example, or you have an audio file and you hit Get Info and you're in an ID3 program, a program that can read ID3 tags, then it'll display that information for you about the file. It's your album cover for audio digital files.
Your next step.
That's today's answer. Your next step is to go to iTunes or some other distributor of audio files and look at some metadata about that file. When you hit the About button on an icon of a digital audio file and it gives you individual information about it, you've tapped into the ID3 tags. So just try that for yourself. I'm Dr. Lori Barr. You're listening to the Doctor's Mentor Show. One idea is all it takes to change your world.
Are you stopping at a hospital? Hello? Don't you know that hospitals are one of the sickest places on the planet? Don't touch anything in there and get out as fast as you can.
Information in this show and the accompanying descriptions, show notes, and links is provided for informational purposes only. The information is a result of years of practice experience by the author and show guests. This information is not intended as a substitute for the advice provided by your physician, attorney, accountant, or other professional. Do not disregard professional advice or delay in seeking professional advice because of something you have seen, heard, or read related to this show. Information in this show and the accompanying descriptions, show notes, and links, and the use of any products or services trialed or purchased by you does not create a doctor-patient relationship, attorney-client relationship, or any other professional client relationship between you and any of the providers affiliated with this show. Information and statements regarding health regimens, drugs, and/or dietary supplements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or any information contained on or in any product label or packaging. Always speak with your physician or other healthcare professional before taking any medication or nutritional, herbal, or homeopathic supplement or using any treatment for a health problem. If you have or suspect you have a medical, legal, and/or accounting problem, contact your healthcare provider, attorney, and/or accounting provider promptly.